is $40,000 and paralyze you for life. That's why it's important that you have what's called underinsured coverage with your own policy. And underinsured coverage means that you carry your own insurance in case some drunk that has very little coverage doesn't have enough to pay you for the adequate compensation for what you've lost. You know, if you lost both your arms and legs, couldn't get around anymore, and you had $500,000 to $1 million of underinsurance coverage, then you could collect that from your own insurance company. Sometimes your own insurance company doesn't believe that you deserve that, though. So I have to go after the policy of your own insurance company to say that John Harper deserves to have underinsured coverage that he bought for and paid for under his policy just because he got hit by an underinsured driver. It's really important that you do check your policy to see if you have underinsured coverage. A lot of companies don't even cover it. State Farm in California stopped covering it, but they reinstituted in Michigan. I think auto owners have underinsured coverage, but most of the carriers do not carry it anymore because it's too much of a hassle for them. And nobody thinks to ask for it. But your likelihood of being hit by a drunk or an idiot is about 90% higher than being hit by a pediatrician or a surgeon on his way to a picnic or a UPS driver or something like that. A lot of brain injuries in the state and all over the country that are caused by people that don't have any insurance, and people end up with brain injuries. It's pretty pathetic. You know, the politics would like you to think that there's too many lawsuits or too many claims, but the point in fact is there's probably less than 8% of all the litigation involving civil lawsuits for money. You know, but they would like to think, the government and the politicians would like you to think that, boy, there's one lawsuit after another, after another, after another, and we got to stop the lawsuits. You ask jurors, you know, raise your hand if you think there's too many lawsuits. Just about every single one of them will raise their hand. None of them will have any direct knowledge of any of those lawsuits, quote unquote, that we're talking about. But there's a very, very big insurance industry lobby that have put millions and millions and millions of dollars into advertising. Tort reform in Michigan, they are right now trying to have a bill passed with regard to medical professionals. They already have a bill that if you're a doctor or a certain type of professional, MD, that before if they did something wrong, even before you can sue them, you have to have an affidavit of merit from another MD that has the same exact credentials, and I mean same exact credentials, to say, yes, that's a meritorious case, before you can file the complaint. That's the only type of occupation of thousands of occupations that you have to have that. And why is that? If you have an electrician that gets drunk and miswires a house and somebody gets themselves electrocuted and fries their brain, you don't have to get a special affidavit from another electrician before you can file a case. You know, what is wrong? Money runs the politics in the state and in the country. And the insurance companies have a lot of them.